So I'm sure a lot of you have heard of YSL Babycat. It's highly regarded as one of the most popular and best vanilla fragrances on the market. It's a very smoky vanilla, heavy incense, kind of the suede feeling to it. It's beautiful. But today is not about Babycat. Today is about something that came out before Babycat that I think Yves Saint Laurent, they kind of copied. So today we're going to be talking about Rosendo Mateo number 5. This came out 5 years before Babycat in 2017 compared to 2022. And I think this is going to ruffle some feathers here. This one is better. Let me tell you why. Stay tuned. All right, you saw the intro. I'm going to tell you why I believe that Rosendo Mateo number 5 is a better purchase than a equivalent bottle of Yves Saint Laurent Babycat, YSL Babycat. So I have Rosendo Mateo sprayed on my left arm here and Babycat sprayed on my right. I don't want to do a full compare contrast, but I'll tell you kind of what's going on that's different. Babycat off the top, black pepper, spicy, more oomph to it, versus Rosendo Mateo number 5 is into kind of this velvety suede sort of feeling, slightly floral, and this the Babycat base, as I'll call it. Even though this came out before it, it's still what people kind of identify with that incense, vanilla, and the saffron, I believe. So anyway, there's clear differences here, but you can tell that this was the original thing that YSL wanted to kind of do a twist on, and I think they succeeded in it. They are different, but this is such a better deal in my opinion, and I think that this is more complexity. I believe I paid $109 shipped to my door from Max Aroma for this guy, and it's a 100 mil. Yeah, 100 milliliters, and I believe that a 125 ml Babycat it's easily over $200. I know that, but I can't remember if it's in like the 220 to 250 range, I think, from discounters, or maybe even like Fragrance Marketplace. Anyway, way more expensive, right? And it is a great buy, but this is just better to me. The floral touches here just elevate the profile to me, whereas this one, it gets, that smoky wood, sort of charred wood thing, and it stays like that, and then it kind of dries to a velvety feeling and texture. Whereas Rosendo Mateo number 5 goes pretty much instantly in that. So let me read you the notes from number 5. So the top notes listed straight from their website are lily of the valley, spicy notes, which they don't specify which, and saffron, which I'm not sure how saffron isn't a spicy note, but anyway, mid notes, lily of the valley again, and carnation. So I'm not super familiar with carnation in other fragrances. I think it's Xerjoff Fiero that is a prominent carnation note. I think it's more of an old school perfumey sort of note that isn't utilized a whole lot these days, but there are not many other floral notes in here besides the lily of the valley. So I kind of get a gist of what it's doing. And it's just this smooth floral and kind of rich smell that it's adding to this. It's kind of a textural thing, in my opinion. Of the way I would describe the number 5 is suede, musk. Well, what do they say on the freaking bottle? Floral, amber, sensual musk, right? I'm not going to try and reinvent the wheel. They summed it up perfectly right there. Floral, amber, sensual musk. This is much more musky compared to Babycat, which I really like, versus Babycat. It's much more spicy and peppery, right? I have to look at the notes, but I believe that there is a definite black pepper note in Babycat. That's like the clear cut difference between them, where they just go in different paths. Is Babycat is more spicy, Number 5 is way more musky, slightly floral, but it still has that ambery vanilla incense sort of thing going. So that's the distinction in my mind. The performance on this is outstanding. I easily get at least 12 hours of this being on my skin that it's detectable. Do I really put myself in positions where I need to have a fragrance that lasts 12 hours? No. So I'm not going to, knock off points for Babycat because it doesn't last as long or it doesn't perform as well. They both do their thing very well, right? They're no slouches. It's just that this one, for those of you that care, it does it a little bit better, right? There's better projection, in my opinion, off of my skin, better longevity, and the sillage on this is actually immense. Whereas Babycat has moderate sillage, in my opinion, but you need a lot of air movement over you for this to be something that's detectable well into the dry down, right? Of this, I feel like I'm getting really good sillage like hours in. I'm not even kidding. It's kind of like one of the reasons I really love Amouage Reflection Man is that one, the initial projection and that sillage is great, but that sillage just lingers throughout the day. I feel like I just continually catch whiffs of it. Same thing here. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with this. I was introduced to this one when I went down to Miami to avoid the hurricane that was coming through Tampa, and I went to Osme Perfumery, talked with Maurice, the owner, who is an amazing guy, super knowledgeable, obviously, but he's very, very open about whatever you ask him. I asked him about frickin' Jeremy Fragrance and what that guy's like outside of his little, career, right? Is he really like that? He gave me the details on that from his experience. He told me about, and showed me all these beautiful fragrances and brands that I've never heard of. I had never heard of Rosendo Mateo before that. I'd never experienced anything from the House of Bodicea the Victorious. I had never tried anything from Marquise. I had never smelled an Ormond Jane beside Montebaco Intensivo. So I got to experience so many amazing things. I guess this kind of turned into a quick little shout out to Osme Perfumery. If you're ever in Miami, do yourself a favor, go there, support that guy. It's an amazing place to be, and just for the sheer discovery alone, it's worth a pit stop at least for an hour or two. And you will definitely thank me later if you do take me up on that and go. You won't regret it. So, anyway, little side rant over. This stuff is just amazing. As far as occasions to wear them, they fit the same vibe, right? Babycat, anything that smells like it, and this, you would wear it generally, I think, in the fall and winter, more so evenings, but I can definitely admit that I've worn this as my scent of the day to work more than a few times now. I just try and be, conservative with my sprays so I don't overwhelm anything, because this is a definite room filler. You hear me? Definite room filler. This stuff is loud. So I would do spray behind both ears, maybe one on my hand, and on the other hand, maybe. That's it. And you'll be good pretty much all day. I do have a little decant that I've made of like a little 2 ml that I might spray, just refresh here at maybe a little bit after lunch, but it's really not necessary. It's just so that I can relive that opening, honestly. And I try and do it far enough in advance so that I'm not just spraying and then immediately walking back in the building, because that'll get me sent to human resources, I think. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with it. This is a much better value for your money. I think it smells more complex, whereas Babycat is more simplistic, which there's nothing wrong with that. The scent profile smells good. If it smells good, then it is good, right? It performs well enough. This performs better. I think at the very least, Sample this. I know there's definitely places that you can get it. I wouldn't encourage blind buying it, but I definitely think that you could do worse if you are that kind of person, right? I mean, we've all done it, right? We're all guilty of it. There's the thrill there. I think if you like Babycat and you want a slight musky floral twist to it, I think you definitely owe it to yourself to try this guy here. So I'm going to end it there. That's just kind of my short thoughts and feelings about these two. I still love Babycat. I still, I don't see myself buying an actual bottle of this because I own Paris Corner Refacat. Refacat? No, I have no idea. Refacat. And that's really good too. But this, obviously, compared to a clone brand, just much better. So I wear it more often. But I love the profile of both, and I'll be wearing both. So I think that's going to do it for this video. Let me know, have you tried this? Have you tried anything from this brand, this numbered line? They're very good. I would encourage you to look more into Rosendo Mateo just as a brand in general. I think they have a lot of good things to offer, and you can find these at Max Aroma. And I guess I'll put it here for at the end of the video if you're still watching. I don't know what it's actually from, but I've seen online that this code FB15 on Max Aroma is like $30 or $40 off of pretty much whatever you're buying. So I use that when I can, just as a little snippet for you guys that are still here. So enjoy. They have this brand there, and it's actually a pretty good price, especially when you bundle it with that. So go get you some deals, and we'll see you in the next one, right? Thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.